Hey, good morning, everyone. You have signed in here to the open office hour with Sunnova and OpenSolar, and we're going to do a Q&A session here on the design studio in the Catalyst environment. Have some time to pop it up on a screen share, maybe run through a quick proposal, and have time to answer your questions. So. Andrew will be in the background to handle the Q&A. Levi is also on the call. Levi Rhodes with Sunnova, product manager, and this is me here, Bob with the Open Solar team. So happy to have you all join the call, and we do have the Q&A open. So start firing away with questions in the Q&A. We'll answer them as they pop up. And anything that we can't handle here on the call today, this is really a bit more focused on the design tool itself. So really Sonova directed questions will be probably your dealer support manager, but it seems like we might be able to get some good answers from Levi as well. So what I'll go ahead and do here as well, if you'd like to grab a screenshot, we do have these office hours weekly going forward for a while here now, and the Sunnova Resource Hub. So if you don't have access to these links, highly recommend you take a screenshot or take the time to grab these with your phone here. Go ahead and pour myself a sip of coffee, let you grab that, and take a sip here. And let's go ahead and get into it. That'll be the slide deck there. And I've got the Catalyst environment pulled up. So go ahead and create a new lead and just run through a brief design here. Let's see some questions popping up. Let me take a look. I think those questions are getting answered via text. So
Actually, Bob, for the first question here about how to get help if the Google image does not have the home, I think maybe we can just highlight the Sunnova the question mark button for the Sunnova team here, how they can get the
ah,
assistance from it.
perfect. Yeah, so I think we'll be able to see that here in a second once we get um, the home loaded. Let's go ahead and create a solar lead for this address. Okay, we'll go ahead and use the property owner there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and select the utility provider is already PG&E, so we'll leave that as is. And we'll say they're currently a residential, and go ahead and click that over to 3.9%, and they're going to be moving over to a NEM 3.0 rate. And let's just say they've got, 15,000 kilowatt hours per year. And we'll generate a design with OpenSolar using the auto generate here. When this pops up, there is going to be a question mark right here in the upper right-hand corner. This is to answer the question. I think it might have already gotten answered via the chat. Um, if you do need assistance from the Sunnova team, if you don't have a 3D model pop up, or you need help modeling, that is your go-to button right there for that.
One thing too on that question for what should you do if the Google image doesn't come back? So there's a couple things you can do. You can submit the site model review, like Bob just mentioned. You can also, we're going to add near map next week is the goal for adding near map. So you'll be able to change your imagery provider. So you could also check a different imagery provider there. And then if you still aren't getting anything, You can always submit a manual design via Catalyst, so you can put the array values in manually. Click create a new design, select manual design, and then put those values in there. Or you can, if you're an advanced user. Oh, I see. Sorry, in the question, you're a basic user, so ignore that last part. You could submit a manual design. Next week, you'll be able to change your imagery provider, or you can click the site model button.
Cool. Thanks for that. And I assume that changing imagery provider will be largely the same as it is with the native OpenSolar tool. It'll be there in the design mode selector. Is that right?
Yeah, we want to confirm that. We haven't confirmed that yet, but yeah, I think that'll be the quickest path, because that's already, if you click that button, when this loads up, I think it's already there. Not that one. Sorry, the advanced drop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the design mode selector.
Yeah.
So that'll be here. And if there is, generally in the OpenSolar Design Studio, if you have multiple imagery providers, it'll be showing up there. You'd see, selecting your map, and then you'd be able to select that as such. So now we have a max fit design built in here, and you can see that the offset's 293%. So we can really do a lot to reduce the system size here simply by highlighting individual arrays and going down a few panels at a time by clicking and dragging through those. And you can also switch the target offset here. Do that in a second once the production's recalculated. It's maybe you're shooting for 100%. Let's go ahead and confirm and rerun. And some questions have come up too about designing on a flat roof as well as designing in a ground mount scenario. So we can cover some of that too. But given that we've got down to about 100% consumption offset, we may want to reconfigure this layout just a little bit. Maybe drop off a few panels over here and add a few elsewhere to kind of make the array a little more uniform. And if we want to readjust that a little bit, you can click and drag that drag point. And you may find some zero panel arrays popping up here. Those are just the ghosts of the design max fit estimator there.
Good question in the chat, Bob, about I don't see the site model button. The site model's not available yet. we should have mentioned that when we were talking about it. It comes on October 10th next week.
Gotcha. Good
Yeah.
to know. Cool. Yeah, and a couple other things to call out here if you are, I believe this is in advanced as well. You should be able to. I don't think does the basic user have the ability to go outside, change portrait and landscape and all that?
Not right now. We are going to add the ability to switch panel orientation to basic though. So that should come this month as well.
Cool. So there's some dramatic things you can do, of course, with the layout here. And you can, of course, disregard again, the ghosts of the panel, the max fit estimation there. That's just sort of a silhouette that'll all disappear when you get to the presentation. And we'll go ahead just for the sake of the example too, because I know it's going to come up again. Already has come up. If someone wants a ground mount designed, you can really just start designing right there in the grass or on a flat roof. These will work relatively the same. So for those not familiar with the controls, I'm clicking and dragging with the right mouse button to rotate and the left mouse button to float on a plane, and the scroll wheel on my mouse is allowing me to zoom in and out. For tablets, of course, it's going to be typical gestures. Single finger will float, two finger will rotate, and the pinch in and out will zoom in and out. So dropping some panels onto what we see as more or less a flat surface with no slope, I do get an automatic sort of tilt-up rack there. And what happens when you start adding panels into a preset tilt rack like that, you're going to have each next row on its own, 20-degree or whatever input tilt you have there. And there are some things you can do here in the advanced tab when you have a panel group highlighted to, for example, if you just want to have, let's say, spread out each next row, or perhaps you'd rather have maybe a couple modules per row, maybe 3, something like that. Let's do that real quick. So now we have 3 on a single tilt there. And if you want to do, let's say, a few of those in a row, you can sort of preset that as well. And just an example of some things you can do with the advanced tab there for tilt racks. And let's dial this back to 1. And let's switch into dual tilt here so you can see how that works as well. So this is going to be probably pretty popular for some flat roofs. If you have an east-west orientation you'd like to do, you can then space out each each valley or ridge if you like, as such, and kind of get those preset just rolling in waves. So the offset is another one of the tools you might want to use, especially if you're designing in a sort of a tighter triangular roof face. That just allows you to stagger each next row like that. So should that be useful to you, that's where it is. Yeah, and one more thing about the flat surface design modeling here too. Just drop one panel on here, and in the advanced tab under a tilt, you'll have panel placement, roof or ground, sort of largely sort of administrative, but that's maybe something you might want to track there in your design. So we'll delete this one. And we're going to zoom out. We're going to frame up the array that we've designed. And sometimes if I'm kind of skewed to the side, it can be easier for me to just click in the middle of this compass icon. So I get a top down with true north facing up, and then zoom out. That white box is going to be whatever is presented on your proposal. So zoomed out there, and we're going to go ahead and save and continue to pricing. I should have noted down here too that the configure system button, that little gear icon, will allow you to change your panels, your inverters, and select a battery, as well as racking and monitoring. Looks like the pre-generated pricing is not popping up, so I'll go ahead and manually enter pricing there.
Yeah, it can be a little slow sometimes in the QA environment. I don't know if Kyle's. Yeah, Kyle, if you're still there, if you could shoot the address for the system where you're not seeing the offset value, we could try that one out. Um, cool. Can we take that address in the chat? And maybe I just because I think most folks are pretty good on pricing at this point.
Okay, perfect. Let's get back into
Sweet. Thank you.
go ahead and create a new one here at that address.
Yeah, I just want to try this Albuquerque address so that we can see if we are having production like offset issues. We need to fix it.
Yeah, and thanks for the patience here. The QA environment can be a little bit slower. I think this is trying to reload my previous one here, so get another one started. There we go.
Is this right, Kyle?
This doesn't look like a residential
Yeah.
Arizona street southeast. Okay.
Yeah, just a little tip. Whenever you see when you put in the address, you just always want to select the address utilizing the drop down that populates instead of hitting enter inside of the box.
Got it. Good to know.
Here, hold on. Let's see. Did we get the annual usage?
Yeah, let's plug that in correctly.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I don't know if you prefer I select any different rate plans or anything, but that's
Yeah, let's see what
maybe not quite as relevant. 6,000. Okay.
residential for post-rate solar plan.
Like that.
Yeah,
Cool.
cool.
Should we be selecting the right? Looks like the Longi panels aren't in here anyway.
Yeah, can you, or sorry, I didn't even, I missed what was our offset based on the max fit?
So we got 162%. That's using 330 watt mods. Thank you. It's
Longi and Solar Edge. If we have that set up, let's see.
So we have the Solar Edge, but only Canadian and Hanwha
In the test account. Okay.
yeah. Let's see, manual change. Let's go ahead and this is the issue. For example, you've removed a panel and I can't, I'm sorry, I don't have track of exactly what the original question was here. Ah, yep. So I think that's the kind of the issue there is that production gets updated when you make changes, but it might not get updated here. Um, And maybe that's that calculate production button needs to be clicked.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Have you tried that, Kyle? That calculate production button?
Let's do that live here. So see if that'll spin up for us and then allow me to click the. So this should go up to 162, I think. And the consumption we put in was 6,000 here, so that's roughly tracking here. The math seems to be all good. But if I've made an update here and that calculate production doesn't allow this offset to update, then okay, that seems to be working for me. So maybe do another example here.
Yeah, I'm looking at the screenshot that Cal just sent. Let's see. System size is similar. Can you try using when this loads up, Bob, just trying to target offset and try and put the target offset to 107%, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Match what he did.
Yeah.
Trying to see if we can recreate the bug.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Gavin just answered it. Checked on our side, the shading coefficient solar access on Kyle's system was set to 0, resulting in very low production. How is that shading coefficient determined? Does that come from OpenSolar, Bob? The shading coefficient?
There are, so the loss settings could be what solar access on the panel group. Let's check that out. So if I click into this panel group here, I think this is what's being referred to. So it's, the default here is going to be auto. And it sounds like we had that was maybe turned all the way off. You can manually toggle this here, so that's going to really dramatically impact things, and that will also lock it there. So whatever inputs are dropped into that will stay. So I'll turn auto back on. So I don't know if
Gotcha.
that maybe was part of what was happening there.
Kyle, can you test that one out for us, please? Let's see what that says.
Yeah, if you do have 3D, you're going to want to make sure that the shading method stays on auto.
Are these scheduled for an hour? Or is it 30 minutes? Wow.
I've got a, let me see if I've got an hour here. I think I do. Yeah.
It's on for an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. I unfortunately have to jump for 30 minutes today, but I will block my calendar for an hour for the next week. But
Cool.
I'll be online, so just send me if there's any questions you have, I can jump back and forth between meetings.
Super. Yeah,
Thanks.
it's good to have Randy and Shane here in the background as well. So if we have any other really Sunnova specific questions, can give those a shot. So change the shading options. I have auto selected, deselected, and then reselected it, and still a no-go. So it sounds like you have auto turned on, and uh, it may help to just toggle a panel on and off that will kind of kick the shading calculation and everything back into play there, and that may allow you to then recalculate production and then get an updated offset. Give that a try and let me know if that doesn't help. Interesting. You're getting a dash there. Okay, I see. Let me ask you this. Are you in fact in 3D? And if so, do you have Google Solar API? And can you hit select there? Okay, you're in 3D. Not manual 3D, but auto should be by default. No, don't switch to manual. Yeah, you really just you want to have Auto 3D, Google Solar API, and if um, probably maybe just reselect that just in case. Yeah, this is Randy just suggested basically, what was where my head was going next, which is maybe start a new lead and try again because I'm not quite sure how you're arriving at different behavior than what I'm getting here. Um, so it might help to just kind of start from square one, drop the address back in, and get an auto design and see where that gets you. If you do end up getting, no offset showing, then definitely let us know.
And I can respond to the question that came in here with us launching OpenSolar now. I'd say part of the reason why we're launching this now and you still have Aurora access to the end of the month is to get your all's feedback so we can kind of work through some of these kinks. So in those scenarios where you're running into some of those issues, you still have the ability to design with Aurora. We still want you utilizing OpenSolar as much as possible, and then come into these sessions to provide us with that feedback so we can identify any issues. And with Lee, and I'm sorry, with Levi, I know Gavin's on the call. We have the other folks in the background who are here to help us support and make sure that all those kinks are worked out come end of the month when Aurora designs will go away. So we appreciate y'all being in there and coming to let us know what isn't working so we can work through it. I know we still have a few other folks that are on the call. So if y'all have any other questions around OpenSolar, the designs, or anything else, please feel free, drop them in the chat or in the Q&A. It's an opportunity for us to provide y'all some live support here.
Yeah. Thanks for the shout on that. Yeah, just demonstrating the tree trimming tool there too. So that should help update your shade study if you need to trim a tree out there. You can use, if you right click, you can get circle or rectangle shapes, and then you get some drag points to make it larger and smaller, and also drag it up and down to different heights. So if you're just topping a tree, you can impact that there. Also have some controls there on the left side, which will allow you to change the size and shape of the tree trimmer there to remove and edit trees in your 3D model. Any other questions out there? Any other things anyone would like me to demo in the design tool here?
And Kyle, if you can let us know if you did create that second design to let us know if you were able to recreate that issue or if creating a new lead did resolve it. Second design, same issue. Okay.
Kyle, are you on are you a basic user or an advanced user? Okay. I'm wondering if that's not perhaps related to a user profile issue there, Randy.
Yeah, I'm reading through the last comment here. It sounds like this might be are you utilizing SolarEdge inverters, I believe, for that market? And if so, just make sure you have the correct size inverter selected. You might be selecting an inverter that's too small, and then that will not allow you to get the design that you're targeting, especially if it's a if you got like a 3800 or something like that, or just see if you can select a larger inverter in your equipment packages under the configuration system, configure system.
We might also
Okay.
want to see if we can't get the full suite of hardware here loaded into this test account.
Yeah, that is a good call. Kyle, what is your system size for that 11K inverter? My guess is this might not be a design issue. It might be an issue with the equipment configurations.
Hmm. I, Generally, I think the shading values here should come from uh, mainly just the panels, and then production should get calculated using um, any loss from the inverter. So
Okay,
that
yeah. If it's a 3K dub and you got an 1100 inverter, that inverter is way too big for that system. So um, if it's left at 3600 to 5400, it still keeps putting in the 11. Okay, let me. I will reach out um, to your dealer support manager on this. So have them look at your equipment package configurations and see if they can get that resolved. Perfect. I know Emily well. Thank you for letting me know.
great. Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah, happy to help. Thank you for the back and forth there, Kyle, and providing us with those answers. So we'll try to address that. Appreciate you being here and providing the questions.
Who else out there? Any other features or questions or issues we can take a look at? We'll see some folks here in the call. Don't be shy with the Q&A.
Andrew, do you know what the I think Kyle may have left, but do you know what the address was for this lead that he was that you guys were working on there?
I've got it here. I think it's
Can you just drop it into the chat for us?
yeah, it is. It's actually let me grab it, chat, and then drop it back in. It's 609 Arizona Street, Southeast Albuquerque, New Mexico.
All right. Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. See any other questions coming in here? It feels like it might be safe to assume that those who are still logged in are maybe just have us in another window or something.
Yeah, very very likely. Looks like we're just down to one internal person here. So
Cool.
I'm not sure if we're going to get anything else in this last few minutes here.
Okay. I'll go ahead and auto-generate another design, see how it goes. Don't get anything else by the time that's done, I say. Call it a
Yeah,
day until
well,
the next one.
sounds good. Brianne, also appreciate you being here to host these for us.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, it's good to work with you guys.
And then I already got Emily's already working on the other issue that we were having there with Kyle. So
Oh, perfect. All right, well let's wrap it up then. Thanks for hanging, and
all right, yeah,
see you
we
next
will.
time.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah,
Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate it.
Be back at next week. See you then.
sounds good. All right,
Have a great day, y'all.
cheers.
See y'all.